Alright, well, I'm gonna bike in. I missed last week. I didn't get a chance to hit up my camp or where my stash is, my cache. I'm gonna go and check it out tonight. Changing camp spots. After looking at topography maps and satellite imaging, I found an area that is more centrally located to the resources that I need, and it's more off the beaten path and not quite the distance in. So tomorrow's all about scouting out this new area that I found, and in hopes I can find a nice flat area. I'm going in with a lighter load, bringing mostly just food, beans and chocolate and dark chocolate. It's a good energy food, good brain food. So you're feeling drained right at the moment, take a bite, you're good to go for a while. So I'll need some stuff to sustain myself while I'm moving. I'm going to be covering some ground, and I know that there's significant elevation change once I get off the path, the dirt road. So I think that's about it. Oh, tomorrow's Friday the 13th, and there is a winter storm warning. High winds, 45-mile-an-hour gusts. It doesn't seem so bad right now, but I gotta be ready for if that is the case. I'm gonna be out here all winter. I gotta learn how to strategically maneuver in the woods without getting killed by a falling branch. Don't think I'm putting myself into too much trouble or danger. The wind doesn't seem too crazy now. A lot of rain. I gotta test out my new rain gear and myself. See how well I cope with a winter storm. Okay, I'm all geared up. It's dumping rain, and I got my Grundens and my Gore-Tex, Army issued Gore-Tex wet pants, rain pants, I guess. Let's see how my rain gear does. Got a long bike ride ahead of me. Well, I made it, and a bear did not attack my stuff. I got my tarp intact. My wet bag with my wool blankets are safe and secure. The lantern's up and going. So I think first and foremost, I want to wander around. I noticed a couple of things I haven't seen. There's some running club moss, it's one of my favorite plants. And this weather is just intense, so I'm gonna soak it in for a little bit. Got my lantern. I get to see things that no one really gets to see. And the beauty of the storm. So, all right. Well, once I make camp, I'll probably take another little clip. Not sure if I'm gonna build a fire tonight or not. It might not be worth the trouble. I am kind of cold, but I think I'm mostly dry. Hands got soaked. Arms are wet from sweat. My left foot is wet. Nice trick that I like to use is focus on the warm spot, man. In the middle of my back, between my shoulder blades, where my backpack's covering. Whew, that's nice and warm. If that's all you focus on, you don't feel very cold. But home sweet home. Okay, so I think I found a spot that I want to hang my hammock We got very large trees. Alright, so given it's a downpour right now, the trick to setting it up right here, or in this area, in this weather, is to be able to set it up without getting it soaked. I don't want my down sleeping bag getting wet. I don't want my wool blankets getting wet. So I'm gonna first set up a tarp right here. And I got lots of anchor points in a small area. But what else I got is dead standing trees. That's dead standing. This is, but I don't think I'm gonna mess with it. It's too much a part of things. So, and we got steep slope. Should be able to scrape the moss off and potentially find, oh, I can't lose my machete. Should be able to scrape the moss off and potentially find more or less dry ground. If not, actually there was, look, there's a big old flat board right there. And the underside of it is fairly dry. So that's a platform to start your fire on. And then over here is dry wood. Hard to find dry wood, but it's in there. So if I dig in here a bit, I'll find some actual wood that's still intact, and typically that's very sappy wood. Now, I'm only needing a fire just enough to, you know, the ambiance, just a thing of comfort. It'll turn out the lights and enjoy the flicker. But I could also go for some warm food. So, it's really not a necessity. I'm not doing it to dry out. I'm just doing it to be a little more comfortable. So this is gonna be where I'll sleep tonight. Beautiful big trees, beautiful. They're large. And there's dry moss and bark. Any one of these that have a lean to it, this is thick enough woods to where the wind can't kick up enough. And I'm looking, there's not fresh branches down. We're safe here. Well, spent way too long on this, but I dug down to dry dirt. I pulled bark off of dry trees. And unfortunately, I let the rain get it. I didn't notice that the rain was coming in a little sideways right here. But it won't be a big deal because I got a lot of sapwood. That right there is not wet. That's oils. So, oh, it smells so amazing. Sure wish video could pick up smell, but it doesn't. So above me is a tarp. There's my hammock. I got a nice dry place. And right on the other side, you can see the water dripping. That's not dripping in my hammock, it looks like it, but there's a water fountain. So if I get thirsty, I've already had many drinks off of that. Man, this water out here coming from our sky is clean. I've seen studies done. Pacific Northwest has some very clean water, and the further away you are from a city, the better. The contaminants do move, but that's not my point. I guess I'll give you another clip once the fire's roaring. It's, unfortunately the wind's ripping this way. So, I guess right next to the fire, right next to the river is not the best idea, but I'll sleep, I'm sure, I hope. I should get used to this. It's awful rainy, but I mean, this is just a quick 1 hour setup. I got a nice fire going. I'm actually starting to dry out. Tons of sapwood. You can make a fire anywhere with the right sapwood. Nothing will put it out. We got some music going on and noise fire. Nice comfy bed behind me. Oh, fire's looking a little sad. It'll spark up. I just moved some more sapwood on it. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. But I'm kind of stoked. Maybe a little fearful about going to sleep. The wind's cold. But this makes me feel alive. I love it. Beautiful place to wake up. A couple of notes is that I'm cold. I slept well. There's a little bit of, like, I half woke up knowing I was on the edge of cold, but I got some really good sleep, so that's good news. It's that I was right on the border of my comfort zone, which means I do need more sleeping insulation. The concerning part is that my overalls, which were my middle layer, not my base layer, but my middle layer, they did get wet, meaning that my rain gear failed to some extent. My hands are especially cold, and my feet are cold, so I need to do something in regards to footwear. These new Danner boots that I bought just weren't cutting it. I'm returning them. Hopefully to get, maybe it was just a Porter, one of the bad ones off the line. I don't know. They're expensive boots. They should hold up fine, but they got wet. The Grundon's missing a button. See if I can't fix that. Need proper gloves. My hands, like I said, are very cold, so I'm gonna build a fire. Fire did good last night. We got pitchwood right here where I slept. I found another area, so I'm gonna grab my axe, put away my lantern, grab a pan, and cook some breakfast. Try to dry out some of the wet areas of my attire, mainly my gloves, because it's not fun riding a bike with wet hands when it's 40 degrees out. Well, I got a thermometer. I'm going to check the temp. It's over in my stash. I might just leave my tarp up for quick camp next time. Yeah, better rain gear, better foot and hand protection, secondary hat. My hair and hat is wet. My hair dried out overnight. That was nice. I think I could handle a lot colder temperatures with no wind if I was dry. A lot colder, but that's what it's looking like as of now. I gotta be ready for all sorts of different situations. Okay. Beautiful out here. It's tree resin concentrated into this pitch wood. Some people call fat wood. This is growing up and down, and it's dry. I want to show the qualities of it. This is amazing stuff. This piece got a little wet, but that's another beauty of it. Wet or not, it just takes off. So this will take a minute or so. I want to demonstrate how ridiculously flammable this stuff is. Got a bunch of little toothpicks. Oh, it smells so amazing. I think there's something about the smell that is just a primitive comfort smell. I think for thousands of years, this wood has saved humans from freezing to death. And throughout our timeline, generations upon generations, I believe it's imprinted that smell as like a genetic stamp to our memory that this means life. We can eat, we can warm ourselves, so when I smell pitchwood, it's like gold to me. It's just one of my very favorite things. Yeah. It's just a violent little fire. I gotta turn this off to make it bigger. But I got so much energy here in wood that I'm gonna have to dye it down. I'll build it up, and then I'm gonna kill it down with wet wood, and then I can cook on it. Because if I don't, it's just gonna be too intense. So very intense flame. You do have to kill it, let it die down, throw some wet wood on it. Very lucky to have this, given everything is wet. And that's why I'm not scared of catching the forest on fire. I'm sitting on a wet sponge. I can literally squeeze water out of the dirt. Everything is wet. But I can't cook on that. Doing a little experiment here. Took my burning logs out of the fire and I stacked them in such a way that they were off the ground, so to reduce moisture wick up. The ground, they won't suck up the wetness from the ground as much. I have a cover over them. I'm going to leave this tarp up so it'll be a quick setup next time I'm here. And then they're kind of tight together on top of the moisture barrier. And the idea there is to reduce surface tension to the air, to minimize the moisture. You know, basically clouds come through here, and when you got half burnt wood, it acts as a sponge to the moisture. So I'm trying to reduce all that. It's just a test. I'm gonna see if this helps at all. I got right over there a chunk of sapwood. So if things work well, I can just come here next Thursday night, split up that sapwood and throw this stuff on there, have a fire.